One sec, chat. Hi, everyone. Hello, chat. Hi. No, we'll have Jason here in a minute, but we won't have a producer today. Womp womp. How's everyone? Paint Liquor, Ghost Hunter, Wad Tomato, N, T Schmidt. Hello, Slayer Street. What's up? Mo, what's going on? And to everyone else who is not chatting in stream yet, lurking about, hello. Happy Hump Day. Oh my god. I got a thing I'm working on right now, and then we're gonna move on to some other stuff. But we're gonna do the OSL on the ground and on the portal today. That's the plan. And then yeah, we're gonna figure out something else to work on. Maybe finish up a Dis model, which is super cool. Working on this yesterday, for those of you who were not here. Got all the kimono done. All the bits and bobs. Hey, look. He's back.
I had to fill my water bottle.
Yep.
Cheers. How we doing, folks? Oh, where's my model? Gabe stole my model.
Yeah, he's taking photos of it.
Gabe stole my model.
Yeah, he's touching your stuff down.
Jordan touches my things. Gabe touches my things. Everybody's touching my things.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Yep. Thank you, Mo. And Slowick, she is a Malifaux model that's called Hinamatsu.
She's a beauty. Well,
I mean, yes and no.
You know,
beauty and scary.
Kind of not really beautiful.
What you got over there?
Yeah.
Bus is dust.
What do you mean?
Oh, you got interesting little brushes that you're showing to the stream right now.
I don't know what you're talking
about. I don't. Well, all right.
Whatever do you mean?
New brushes?
Huh?
Are those new brushes?
What? Oh, is it take your senior citizen to work day? What the?
I think it's something.
Here's Gabe with my things. He's touching my things.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
Sorry.
That's the thing. You're lying to me right now. See, he's even shaking his head saying he's not sorry. Yes, I will be. I will be completing my model and testing some new brushes that we have come up with.
What's new and exciting about these brushes?
They are what we're looking into. There are no guarantees, but they're what we are looking into as our starter series brushes. So we would like to offer a line that can go in with some of our paint sets that would give you just a good starter brush.
Awesome.
But it still needs to hold up to quality. So the tough thing there is, like, you know, where do we... Our pro synthetics are so good.
Uh-huh.
It's very hard to think about pulling in a synthetic and making it something that doesn't just, you know...
Work super duper awesome.
Feel bad.
Yeah.
It can't replace the pro synthetics, but it needs to be good. So I'm going to be playing around with that. So.
Cool.
And look at this guy.
That guy looks
delicious.
Like he's been some places.
Delicious.
I don't know about delicious. Definitely nutritious, though.
Why are the handles white? Just when we do the generic samples, we don't care to dip them, so we just take whatever handles we've got. So they're unlabeled, and, you know, there's nothing fancy about them. We're only concerned with the way the bristles interact.
What you got working on that guy?
I gotta finish him.
What else you got to do? You can do. Looks like his face.
Punisher, they won't remain white. These are just samples.
That mech looks noosh.
You spelled it wrong. He was nice blue last time. What happened? He was white. What are you talking about? Just with the bluish shadows and jade and all of that. And that's all still there. But the goal of this model, as I said from the beginning, was always to do the Noosh tutorial video. So you guys, again, because we love you so much, are getting a first look at the model. Gabe and I just finished up a little while back before lunch the rust streaking portion of the video. And so I've done all the weathering to get to this point.
Yep. And I'm working on finishing this guy, which is also in a video that you will see soon.
I don't have a whole lot to do. I just got to finish up some detailing so we can get a nice glamour shot of this guy. Would be nice. That's what I'm doing. We're going to paint some missile tips.
Missile tips. Burnt red.
Slavic, that's the new fluorescence.
This is fluorescent yellow and fluorescent green.
We're just showing off all the new products. I nooshed the crap out of my dreadnought. Okay, let's see here. I've got 0s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. So let's start with a 3. We don't have a synthetic 3. Start with a 3.
Slovak, are you talking about the fluorescent portal effect? Or are you talking about the OSL effect that I'm building up right now? Because the fluorescent effect for the portal is a white base coat, and you'll get more of this in the actual tutorial video. But it's a white base coat followed by a yellow spray with the fluorescent yellow over the whole thing, and then the gradient with green, and then a final little gradient that's got some fluorescent green plus green mixed together, and then hand doing the portal with the fluorescent green, and then the fluorescent green plus green mix, and then building it back up with some white, and then some glazes of transparent color, or with the fluorescent colors to finish it off. Both, but specifically the color changing effect? Or are you talking about this metallic?
The color change from green to green is using bright green and dark green. Can you noosh with fluoros? Yes.
Yes, the robot comes through the portal.
We've discussed some fun ways you could use the fluorescence with noosh, like doing fire or lava. You know, where you have the
ooh, lava would be a really good way to do it.
Yeah, right? Like you've got a lava base or something like that where you have dark stone and then lava peeking out in the recesses. You could noosh the recesses with one of the fluorescents and then wipe it off the stone, but still have that kind of overglow effect on the rock is what my brain tells me. I would have to try it out. Yes, both of these products, I mean, they weren't released together in terms of thinking you would always use them together, but there's no reason why you couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll notice, for those of you who have been paying attention in class, we just got done about an hour ago with this guy, and you'll notice I'm handling him and painting paint right over all of the parts that we nooshed. I haven't varnished or anything.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for it to dry super long.
Yeah, and when it is dry, it's dry. You don't have to worry about reactivating it and moving it around. And we've had some people like, but that's why I use oil washes. And I'm like, well, good, then keep using them.
Yeah.
But that's not why I use oil washes. I use oil washes to get really nice gritty effects. But I hate having to varnish over it for fear that if I do a wash or want to layer or glaze over the top, which you generally do
Yes.
when you're not painting World War II tanks, where the oil wash is kind of your last step. For us in miniatures, we kind of want to bring a little bit more contrast out. We don't do the same type of realistic visuals that scale modeling does all the time. We kind of poke some fake contrast onto our models so that they survive the 3-foot test. You see cool details. You're playing with them. They're your toys. So oil washes for miniature, in my opinion, need to work a little bit differently. And so by work differently, I mean get rid of them and use acrylics. Because the streaking and all of the grime on this guy will have the before and after shots. Gabe's been doing a wonderful job of taking the photos of him during all of the process steps that we've done as we've shot the video. But I did an all over noosh of black brown. So I just mixed noosh with black brown and did a complete filter. So the whole model got covered with black brown, metallic parts, the whole nine. Right? Got covered with that. And then went back with the yellow ochre and the burnt sienna to create the rust effects. I can already tell I missed the burnt sienna on this part, so we're going to go back and use the same noosh I mixed hours ago.
Oh, the little hip joints.
And do it again.
The knee joint and the hip joint?
Yeah, I didn't do the hip joint on this side, it doesn't look like. So you get to catch some of the upcoming tutorial live and in person.
Live and in person.
Part was hiding under the gun. You'll notice the paint's been sitting here this whole time, but it's still good. Open time is tremendous. The more volume you get in the paint, meaning the more you have all in one place, the more work time you'll get out of it.
I mean, dang, I was when I was mixing up some stuff for stream a week or two ago, I was literally I was literally using the same mix that I had used the day before.
Then we just take the sponge, makeup sponge that I've got here, kind of be the thin side. Already got paint on it.
Yeah, and you're using a much more focused and targeted application of it, opposed to the all over wash that I've been done on some of the other stuff.
Well, I did the all over wash, but then I'm coming back and using it as a multi-stage. One of the things that I was really wanting to show off was that you can do layering of your washes very simply. And
that looks awesome.
What better way to do it, right? Actually, quite that.
I think the face. Time to do a little bit more of that yellow fluorescence. Oh, what the heck? Alright. So now that we've built up this kind of white gradient for all the areas that are going to have that glow, we're going to go over that with the yellow fluorescent to build up that color. Thin it out a bit. Make it stop looking really weird. Just having the white on there looks really odd. Feels very out of place. Ghost Hunter, it looks like you may be able to get your noosh tomorrow. That's awesome.
Somebody just said they just showed up. It might have been Wad.
Thank you for the follow. Genia Lucina? Genia Lucina? Maybe? Sorry, I'm trying.
I'm going to go with Evgenia.
There you go.
Hey, somebody likes us.
It's tough. Sometimes it's hard to figure out like where the name begins and where it ends, especially
there's some
when
numbers there at the start that I'm not real sure.
All the numbers,
yeah. Evgenia. It's kind of like Virginia in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
That good on this side. Maybe a little bit in the waist area. Looks like I missed. The great thing, though, I can come back with Noosh, and because I don't have to use any type of mineral spirit or anything to clear it up, no solvents, right? I can do this without fear of moving any of the previous paint that I put on it. So if I notice there's a spot where I'm like, oh, you know what I missed, or I'd really like to put some more color on there, but I have to wait 3 days for the oil to dry, or I'm going to mess up everything else that was there and have to do the whole area over. With Noosh, you don't have to do that. Like, I'm just going right back over the top of what we just shot for our video tutorial. Like chant. And the way that I did all of the rust streaks is real simple. I just literally load up a little bit on the brush, hit the rivets, like so, then clean the brush, right? Just come back with the brush, no paint on it, but damp still. And this is a garbage brush. You know, you don't want to use good stuff necessarily. And then you just kind of swipe down with the brush, and it's legit that simple because of the power of Noosh. Compels you. It just makes things super easy. Then you can just take it and kind of blot it with the sponge if you want to make sure it doesn't look like just paint streaks, but it gives you that streaky rust effect. Super quick. Now we cleaned up those areas and got stuff that I missed.
Somebody likes us.
Hip joints and legs. Now I just want to do some paint. Show up with impossible names when there's no producer and Baby J has to read them. I like it.
I'm no good
He's
at
not
reading
prepared.
names. I'm no good at reading names.
He's not prepared. Megalodon, what's going on?
What's up, Megalodon?
Hope everybody is having a wonderful week. It is Hump Day. You've made it halfway there at least.
Yep. More than halfway, because Hump Day's almost over.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know about that.
Well, I guess
it's over halfway over.
Yeah.
Right. Bold Pyro Red. Just get some highlights on these miscals.
Miscals. Good old miscals.
Megalodon, yes, this is the dreadnought we use to shoot the upcoming Noosh tutorial that I did. Gave a nice shot. We did a all over filter showing how you can use it to do just a standard oil filter type thing, darken up, put shading on. And then a lot more specific usage of it. It kind of shows you how you can do more detailed applications of Noosh to get things like the streaking. Jordan does a great video that shows dot filtering, which is meant for doing like more oxidized paint features. So you're putting the Noosh on there with a color and then wiping it away and getting the paint itself has been discolored due to oxidation in the sun and wear and tear. And then you can imagine doing that. And then if he flips it over, you'll see that he's done the same thing I have. He's done more streaking and stuff on top of that. Mm-hmm. So I go in and show you how to do the detailed of the streaking part. Right? So there's so much that you can do with it because it does act like, you know, an oil or an enamel, but it's just all done with water.
Yep.
So I think you'll be blown away when you see the video. I literally, if I had not had to be doing this on camera, I think it might have taken 30 minutes to get the model to this point.
Yeah, after having everything prepped. But the nice thing is, the better you prep the model ahead of time, the better that all of the work that you're doing on top of it is going to look, right? Oh, yeah. Because you build up all of that detail underneath with your edge highlighting and your gradients and all that, the little details, your decals or what have you, or the freehand, and then all of this work over it just adds so much life to it afterwards. Megalodon, it is not great on toast. Not so tasty on toast.
Take olive flesh now. We did the initial highlights with white blue. I'm going to take olive flesh and re-up some of those highlights.
No, I'm using
the dirty, bruised white armor that we got going on. I don't feel like you have any empirical evidence that it's not tasty on toast. I have anecdotal evidence that it's not tasty on toast, and since you're a smart individual, you're going to listen to my anecdotal.
You're going to listen to my anecdotal evidence. My anecdotal evidence is the only evidence that you need to know that it is, in fact, not something that you need to be putting in your mouth.
Yes.
So please don't put it in your face.
Don't put it in your face. None of our products are made for your mouth hole.
Oh my gosh, there was a phrase that there's a
monument. Nothing's made for your face hole.
I have to go back and look for that. There's a comment that I made in answer to a post, something like that, that was just perfect, and it was something to that effect, and I can't remember what it was. It was so funny I had to like go tell Gabe about it, and he laughed really hard. Man, I'll have to remember what it is. It might pop in my head a little bit. And let's see. It's so weird not having a producer.
It's usually the one that's doing all the talking. Flores, it's a noose to revitalize a... Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
No.
Dead Meat turned out great. Yeah, and this is super simple. I could take a lot more time, you know, like anything. It's meant to show you how you can very quickly turn your army into something amazing with just a few basic principles working for you. You don't have to know a whole lot to do. You don't have to know hardly anything except how to wield a paintbrush to do what I did on this mech. Sorry, Dreadnought.
It's a mech knot.
It literally is that simple.
I'm going back in, adding some darker lines to the back side of these little details in the frame for the portal, so I can kind of redefine some of these shapes and sharpen the contrast between where the light hits the frame and where it's dark in the shadows, where the cast light is causing those super deep shadows. Using a mix of dark bronze and full black for this step. Dark bronze being the base color that I used on the frame.
Sorry, for the Noosh acrylic weathering medium, do you need to clear coat the model? Nope, I haven't done anything here. This was literally just Pro Acryl paint airbrushed onto a model to give base coats. That was done on yesterday's stream. And then Noosh. The beautiful thing about it is that you can, if you want, do that. It will make the filter a little bit more flexible in that if you were to like gloss varnish your model first like you would for an oil wash, and then you put Noosh on it, as you move the Noosh around, you're able to clear it even more off of areas. Our matte finish paint has a texture to it, right, at that micro level. And so the Noosh pigment will grab into those textures at a very small level, which will give you more filtering. So if you want, like I did the black-brown filter on him first to give all the shading. That's what this was, okay? And so that oily, deep shading that I put on it, if I wanted it to really change him as if he had been through a dust storm and mud and all that, then I would have obviously used a lot more, left it matte. If you wanted to barely tint anything and just stay in the cracks like panel lines, you could have gloss varnished it. And then when you wipe it off, you get back down to your base color because none of the pigment sticks to the gloss varnish and it only stays in the recesses. So it's up to you. What are you trying to accomplish? You know, I think that for grimdark kind of stuff like this, you're really trying to create a scenario where you get as much grime as possible on there without it feeling like you dipped it in mud, right? So I was just wanting to make sure that we got quite a bit of filtering going on. So I left it matte. But there is no have to. It's really just your vision of the model and what you're looking to accomplish that drives that decision. For me, when I'm using oil washes, it's typically going to be for a scenario like this Dreadnought because it's going to be, you know, very grimy, grimdark, battle-hardened things. But it would also look good on the side of a tank like this and all that.
Excited now that I have some to start working on my Horse Heresy in earnest. Get all the griminess done.
Yeah, it's definitely something that when you do it, I mentioned it in the video that you guys will see, that weathering, as always, you know, Noosh, you're going to put it on a model, it's going to start being something you're like, oh my god, this is great. Be careful. Don't overdo it. Noosh is definitely one that looks so cool when you're done. You know, if you're familiar with oil washes and enamels and things like that, they can look spectacular very, very quickly, and you can overdo it because you just get carried away with the fact that, oh my god, it looks so good, and then by the end of it, it's like, oh my god, it looks like I dipped, you know, the whole model in mud. So just be careful. I would suggest looking up various scale model channels on YouTube and such, because that's really where you're going to find the best subtractive wash uses. A lot of that in the model world for our world of tabletop gaming is very one-dimensional, because it's literally just slop it on, take it off. But things like Noosh allow you to do so much more. It's a great blending agent. A great way to feel comfortable about getting colors dialed in on the model. It can be used as kind of an overall glaze, to be honest, because you know, you hear me talk about it all the time on stream. These are all just filtering methods, right? They're ways that allow us to accentuate a color with another color by putting them on top of one another and not having to worry about, you know, covering entirely, because we're not dealing with tremendous amounts of opacity. We're able to kind of put very thin, diluted colors on the model. You can see now with just a couple of edge highlights thrown back on there, we get some of that detailing back out, but the weathering really, really starts to pop because now we've got more contrast. If you just apply weathering on top of model, regardless of how you've done it, whether it's, you know, weathering powders or you name it, there's so many ways to weather a model. Even dry brushing to some extent can do it. But if all you do is that, and then you don't come back and highlight up and do your details and add some contrast back on, then that weathering can start to look very one-dimensional. It's when you start to do this stuff like the edges that I'm finding now, brightening up those things, that the weathering can stand out, because it's the darkness, because generally when we weather, we're doing very dark colors or darker colors. That weathering now provides even more contrast on the model. Things like little nicks and scratches. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it because I do need to finish it by the end of stream so Gabe can take a photo of it.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Warpgate, what's going on? Any idea when Noosh will come back in stock? It's most likely going to be a couple of weeks. We did not intend to sell out. I know that's never a good answer for people, but we sold out much quicker than we expected. We've got to wait on a little bit of raw material before we can fill again. I expect to be filling again week after next. So not too long. It'll be here before the holidays. But you guys surprised the hell out of us and bought it all.
Yep.
It, as a matter of fact, it is the fastest selling medium we've ever made. More so than glaze wash or any of the varnish or even primers. It is by far the fastest selling thing we have ever put into a 120 ml bottle. So, unfortunately, yay for us, horrible for people that are going to want to buy it within the next week or so.
Yep.
But it will be. Or check a local store, local-ish store to you, because a lot of stores ordered it and they'll have it on their shelves.
Yep.
So our FLGS link,
or might be getting it really soon.
Exclamation point FLGS. Yeah, a lot of it is still in stock or in house here, going out to dealers. Although most of them have been sent.
You do have a keyboard now that should be functional, by the way.
I never type during stream.
I'm just letting you know.
But yes, I think he got the USB keyboard. Look at us. Professional again.
Doing another layer of this. And lines of OSL here. Lights reflecting off the edges on the bottom. The frame has tons of little details where that light would catch, so I gotta make sure that I get all the ones in the right places.
I'm super excited for you guys to see the latest fluorescent video that Jordan shot painting this portal that he's doing, and this Noosh one. They're going to bring it home for you. The first ones we did were just very quick, showing you kind of in subtle, not so subtle ways how to make stuff happen. These two are going to show you the brilliance of these products.
Bianchi, hi, I'm new at this. I want to know what type of paint you use for it.
Acrylics. Liquid acrylics mostly. That's what we make. We are Monument Hobbies, obviously. And we manufacture a line of paints called Acryl. And they're all liquid acrylic paints. And so, as a matter of fact, we're showing off two of our newest products. Jordan on the right there is using our new fluorescents. And I am, right now I'm just using normal acrylics, but I'm going over what is our latest medium, which is called acrylic weathering medium, Noosh. It's what did all of the weathering details, all the grime and rust streaks and things on top of the paint job. My model was the exact same color of that portal before I put Noosh on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Okay, maybe not, but sounds good. That'd freak people out.
It was the same color as the portal before I put color on the portal.
That'd freak people out.
Hello, Panic Bomb. Welcome to stream. Hope you are having a good hump day.
A leaky trough or lemon and lime sherbet? Yes, that also. Except it has skulls around it, which is kind of funky, but yes.
It is kind of funky.
Did it work? Is he getting another complex? Yes. Tell him how good his Iceman was.
You know what? Iceman looks great, okay? It'd be funny if I pulled out a
real Iceman?
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes, he's painting Iceman just to.
Yeah, I just like been
just
going
to
home.
Shut you guys up.
Painting it at home, and I'm coming in just like, yeah, like it?
Yeah. How about them apples?
How about them apples? Yeah, here's Iceman. We got ice. Whoa. We got Iceman. Not to be confused with that other guy whose name is Silver Surfer, who definitely is not this model. Because this is Iceman. Ah! Oh yeah, they did make an Iceman. Oh my gosh.
Megalodon, no.
Megalodon, no.
If we haven't said so already, I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend if you're here in the States and enjoyed some Thanksgiving. Get time with friends and family and food and all that great stuff. Got some time to reflect on all the great things going on in your life.
I had a pretty delightful turkey.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we made turkey enchiladas the next day, which was a great use of
That is,
turkey.
yeah. I mean, I can't complain about enchiladas even when they're made out of turkey.
Yeah.
But it's still turkey.
You know, it stayed pretty moist, all things considered.
That's not the problem with turkey.
But the issue was that it dried out too fast.
The issue is that it tastes horrible.
Oh. I don't think the taste is that big of a deal for me, but the dryness of it is the killer.
For the taste, jeez.
Well, no. Have you seen me? Have you seen me? I'm a man who enjoys the taste of food, and as a result has eaten his fair share. For those of you who do not know, I'm a large gentleman. And with that large size comes a large amount of happiness and excitement and enthusiasm.
For food?
Well, yes, that, but also for other things.
I was like, wait a minute, where are we going with this?
I don't know.
I'm glad that the turkey was good. We had Cornish game hens. Carter and my nephew William came over and ate. Food was spectacular. Jen killed it. Jen is an amazing cook. With her cooking, she's kind of like her painting. She doesn't give herself any credit.
You should.
With great size comes great food responsibility. And yet he still eats turkey.
Yeah, I mean...
And tartar sauce on chicken.
Whoa. Hold on. Let's ask the real question. When was the last time I had tartar sauce on chicken? That's the real question that we need to be asking
Last
everybody.
Tuesday.
Nope.
I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I lied.
This is a lie. I did not have tartar sauce on my chicken on Tuesday.
He did. Everybody at the office made fun of him. They're like, haven't you learned your lesson yet? He's like, no.
You know what? If there were an Ivers
nom.
around here, I would go do that. Just in spite of everybody. But they don't exist out here. So it makes it difficult for me to do that.
I have a feeling as soon as what is that chicken finger place opening up on the corner called?
Culvert? No.
The kids menu place. All they have is chicken fingers.
Yeah, it's Paul's favorite restaurant.
Oh, is it?
Unironically, yes.
Oh, funny.
Not Culver's. What the heck? Why can I not remember it?
I don't know. Because I never eat there.
I also don't eat there. I've been there once, and it was fine. Cane's. There we go.
Cane's. Yeah. Cane's.
Cane's fried chicken.
Hey,
The lemonade was
somebody
good.
likes us.
But it's not really hard to mess up lemonade.
I don't know, man. You go to a place and you get all excited about lemonade, and then it's like Minute Maid from the tap.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it
That's
tastes
less
like
good.
it tastes like not enough people drink lemonade at their place because
Yeah,
it's
does anybody know what this is
old.
supposed
It
to
tastes
taste
like
like?
the inside of the aluminum canister.
That's fair. I think there are definitely some places where they just don't know what lemonade is supposed to taste like, and therefore it tastes like poop.
I got a half and half, an Arnold Palmer. There, I said it.
Arnold Palmer. It is a weird thing to say.
Arnold Palmer. Not too long back from a place that was atrocious. Holy
Really?
crap. Yeah. I feel like the tea was the bigger problem than the lemonade, but you could tell that they were both like, the tea had been sitting for a while and nobody at that restaurant drank tea,
Oh, yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yep.
And then the lemonade you could tell was, some sort of country time out of, like you would get at the gas station, out of the drink fountain.
That's less awesome.
Yeah, it was just not good. In so many ways, not good.
Alright, we're gonna flip this over and we're gonna start putting some green on the back. Now that this is dry. Some fluorescent green. These little sockets here. A little bit extra contrast. Jordan's scenario. We don't know what lemonade tastes like. What do we do? Try to match the taste of poop. Nope. Nope, that's not a scenario. Definitely don't want to be drinking anything from that restaurant, lemonade or otherwise. Run some bold titanium white over the edges here.
Artist Amelia says, you're making me hungry.
I am hungry. I had
Talking about Cane's?
freaking Pop-Tart. Well, not Pop-Tarts. I had whatchamacallums for lunch. Hot Pockets. It was not my
I thought
brightest
you were making
moment.
spaghetti.
I have not.
You were all excited about it.
I am excited. I have the fixings still. I just have not gotten around to doing it.
What in the world, dude? You left that day like spaghetti was
I
on
was
your
excited.
radar.
I was excited, and then I got distracted, and it didn't happen.
What distracted you from your path of spaghetti?
Probably conversations with people who I haven't talked to in a long time.
Oh my god.
And
those are not the kind of people you need to be spending your time with.
Wow. You know what? Charles would be very upset with that.
Well, you need to
statement.
tell him that he kept you from spaghetti, and you tell him that.
He might actually be in stream.
Charles,
Are you lurking? Are you lurking about Charles?
Charles, I need you to understand the devastating consequences of your actions. This man was so excited about spaghetti.
I don't make spaghetti that often. It sounded really good. Sorry, Slayer Street. I will do the spaghetti thing, and I will report back. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to go to the grocery store and get some not spaghetti. I want to get other things to add to the spaghetti, like some sausage or something. Sounds good.
Meatball.
I don't really do meatballs in my spaghetti.
Me neither.
I do ground beef or ground turkey. But
it's one of the only ways I'll eat turkey is if it's ground and in spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, you really can't tell the difference between that and beef for the most part. It's very similar. It's more of a texture thing and a meaty thing than anything else. No meatballs equals not spaghetti from Megalodon Jaws.
Incorrect. Bolognese, no meatballs.
Nice bolognese sounds good too. I haven't had one of those in a while. You had the one at Gen Con, right? When we went to that Italian restaurant?
Is that what I had? I don't remember.
If
there's a bolognese, I usually do. Or a carbonara. I'm a big fan of carbonara.
They did not have carbonara. Although carbonara also sounds good. I haven't had carbonara in a long time.
OnePlus, what's going on? You've done your dark blue, dark jade, jade, bright jade work up on your Necrons with dark magenta energy, and you're basing them now. You're going to go with tan desert base, but they feel like they exist in kind of a dark, murky environment more. I've been thinking at typical rubble grays base with dirt pigments of red and tan. Without seeing them, gray, a neutral gray, no matter how dark, is always a good choice for rubble bases and stuff that lets the colors really poke out and do their job. So I'm always a big fan of that. I tend to navigate towards like dark grays with maybe some dark brown to give it an earthy feel. Works really well. So I'm always a fan because then any model color works, right? You don't even have to really worry about it. You just be like, what color? Yes, great. And you can do the bases very similar model to model that way. So I think that sounds great. I do believe that if you're doing a desert color with that, it's going to be too much of a warm inclusion for those colors that you're doing. They may not look right. Whereas, the colors might look fine together normally. I don't know that I would focus on that across the whole army. You kind of want the base to disappear and only really be present in the fact that you don't notice it. Does that make sense? That it's part of it, but it's not such a part of the model that it takes away from the model itself. It's why you don't catch me doing snow bases very often, because they're very intrusive. You have to really work hard to get the model to look good on a snow base.
Yeah, you have to put snow on the model.
Well, and even then, places. It just kind of blows the whole thing out. You wind up needing to go into it, assuming that you're going to do a very monochromatic color scheme, right? I'm always looking at ways to do, a lot of my bases may look very similar for that reason. I'm trying to think of what I've completed. Like my Blood Angels, right? Again, very big shock of color on the models. So the base turns into grays with a little bit of transparent greens, transparent browns, maybe some oranges. I really like the idea of slate rock a lot. But it becomes more in the neutral colors, right? And so it's part of the model, but it's not one that you look at first. You look at last. The base should be, in my opinion, the last thing you look at. Unless it has something going on with it that makes the model really pop. Fire on the base, some sort of element on the base that is,
I would agree with that.
Lending itself to the model's overall look. Glowy rocks or something. There's reasons why you would want to do some standout bits and bobs, but I stay away from them a lot of the time. Horus's glow from the power maul onto the ground, stuff like that can be cool.
I'm doing a really light dry brush towards the closest part of the flames on the model here, so that when I glaze over it with the green transparent or green fluorescent, we get a nice gradient of color that makes us feel like it's floating above the ground or burning from the ground. No. All right, let that dry before doing anything with it. Really put a little bit of brightness right up here.
That's a good shot to see how all the highlighting on the white really brings it all back to life and really, really pulls out all the coloring. Because now all the subtle coloring from the yellow starts to show. You can see the yellow ochre, that it is more of a complete, you know, kind of a spot filter almost. And then the streaking shows through it really well. Give him some glowy eyes.
What color are you gonna use for the glow on the eyes?
I don't know. What do we think? Green?
I would have said like orange, yellow? Maybe yellow or orange, something like that.
I don't want to pull away from the rust. The yellow, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
because like the colors you're painting right now would be perfect. If I'm not gonna do something, I could do red, but I've painted the missiles red.
Yeah.
Let's paint the white on it, and then I'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's a hard one because you could go in a lot of different directions, and it would be good. I'm not sure what the perfect answer is there.
Paint Liquor says orange. Yeah, I don't like the orange because I don't really want to pull away from the rust, although the fluorescent orange is going to be a very, very brighter orange, so it might work just fine.
It's a different kind of orange. Is that what color did you use for the rust? Was it burnt sienna? Burnt sienna? Yeah.
Burnt sienna.
You can see I'm kind of adding some glazes to the base here, right where the flames are. Trying to create that kind of underpainting of the glow.
So far, I'm liking these brushes well enough. Those of you who may not have been here at the beginning of the stream and are wondering why I'm painting with a white-handled brush, we are looking at coming out with another line of synthetics that are kind of like starter brushes that would go into our starter set. We have a paint set that is has a lot of duplicate paint colors in it over the other sets. It's not new colors or anything. It has white and black and red and yellow ochre and dark blue or dark purple in it. I don't remember which. And it's got a lot of my favorite colors that I think are great for palette for beginning painters. It also comes with 3 brushes, and right now it comes with Pro Synthetic brushes. But we'd like to be able to get the price of that box down a little bit. The best way to do that is to put some lower cost brushes in there. So we're experimenting with our partner to figure out if we can come up with some synthetics that meet our needs, but don't compete too directly with the Pro Synthetics. Obviously, not quite as good. But still something that I would paint dreadnoughts with, so I'm doing. If it meets the needs here. So far, so good.
I love the Contemptors. They have such a cool shape to the.
It was when they came out with it, I was like, that thing is freaking great. But it came out in that one set where it was just, it couldn't rotate. It didn't have any. You had to buy the Forge World ones to get any manipulation.
Oh, yeah.
The first time they were always the Forge World models.
Yeah.
And so I had a couple, and I was like, that's great, but I didn't want to spend $100 every dreadnought you wanted to add, because you had to, back then you had to buy the body kit for the Legion you wanted, and then you had to buy the arm, the weapon sets how you wanted.
Yep.
And the weapons were like $15 a piece.
Yeah, they're not.
It was $30
cheap.
for 2 arms.
Yeah.
It was like, what? You know? And then when it came out with the first plastic one, right? Which was one of the heresy things. It was,
it was in
maybe
the heresy kit.
Betrayal at Calth, or I forget which one it was. But it was very monopose. So you had to like cut it at the hip joint, because the legs from the hips to the feet were like, or the feet went on differently, but the legs were a front and back clamshell. The hip and legs where you put it the front and the back, and the legs and knees and all that were all molded. So it was like legs were legs, and so you had to you wound up spending a bunch of time cutting it apart, cutting the waist off so you could turn its waist and move its arms. Otherwise, it was literally like robotic. Like it was just like stick up its butt. It was the same for years. All you saw in Contemptors was that pose. You know, you couldn't change it at all because its knees didn't like articulate. Nothing moved. Then of course they came out with this monstrosity.
Which is the same thing, right? It's the same problem.
Well, one of them is, right? So there's one that is, and then there's one that isn't. There's one of these that's fully articulated. I think this one is the non-articulated one, maybe, right?
This is a rescue, right?
Yeah, this is a rescue, eBay rescue. And so this one, the legs don't move, and so you just kind of have to tilt it on the base, right? I think you can kind of maybe adjust the foot a little bit, but it kind of is what it is. And then the other one is with so many pieces, you'd think it was a freaking Bandai kit.
Yeah.
To put the leg together is like 100 pieces.
The Dorado Dread, the weird looking one with the big like
the boat front end.
The boat front end.
The anti-aircraft one.
Is like that.
Yeah.
It has. I literally was gonna build one the other day. I looked at the instruction booklet and like just saw how many parts were for one leg and was like,
yeah,
not right now.
This one is this is the one that's fully articulated, and this one you can move however you want. You can swing the hips out, bend the knees, do the feet, the whole 9.
They look so much better when they
it's
have
50 million pieces. It's like, oh my god, because the way they did the hinge points was done in a way that they did it so that it would move after you put it together, like it was reposable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the hell?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Are we building Gundam kits?
Maybe.
Why does the mech need 2 swords? Those are what are they called? Relics. Chapter relics. On this guy, I made, because it was just an eBay rescue, it was very boring, so I chopped a gouge into the front here so that I could put one of the Blood Angel drips, and then I put the 2 chapter relic power swords on the front of him. Just because these were like Black Templar ones that I chopped up and put the Blood Angel symbol on. Because he was just boring. Right? The plain old Dread is just plain old boring. So I had to put some doohickeys on him to get him a little bit of spice his life up a little bit. He has to go along with all of my Blood Angels. And all of my Blood Angels are kind of over the top. So
yeah, just a little bit.
So they're not, they didn't really look good to have. Look, it's the generic Dreadnought from Dreadnoughtsville, right? Because we did like Dante.
Your Dante is ridiculous.
I really like this model. I need to finish it.
Yeah, you just basically have to do the base, right?
Really, just the base, yeah, and then go back and shade the gold just a little bit now that I have all the highlights.
The rest of it done, yeah.
The way I want to mess around with it a little bit more, but
So many projects, so little time.
your Blood Angels are all arm wrestling? What? Huh?
Yes.
What?
Arm wrestling Blood Angels.
Huh?
I don't know. Wasn't me, it was chat.
What? Huh?
Doohickeys and thingamabobs.
If it's not plaid, it's bad, says Mo. What's going on, Mo? Hot pink would stand out. Overlord Tweak says red or orange still.
I'm trying to think if magenta would look good.
What, on the eyes?
Yeah.
No. I mean, any of the colors would look good. Blue would look good.
Yeah.
Anything will look good. But I'm just trying to think of something that stays in color balance, you know. And I think that had I not painted the missile tips red, I would have chosen red. But I'm thinking like what you've got going on over there on the portal is the best.
Yeah,
bet.
I think it would look good.
Yeah. Although orange is kind of speaking to me. We'll try orange, and if orange doesn't work specifically, we can use yellow to bust it into more of the yellow range.
Well, you could also start with the yellow, and then you could build the orange on top of it.
That's another way to do it.
Because you would get the heat, and then you'd be able to see what the yellow... Because the yellow's kind of green, so you'd be able to see what that kind of green would look like, and then you can go back over it with the orange, which will
I like that best.
warm it back up.
I like that best. That's what they're going to do. I
Yeah.
still need some transparent white.
Yes.
Transparent white. If you don't have a transparent white with a screwed up label like this, are you even trying? Like, I don't even know what's going on here. It's at like 2 labels. 3 labels.
Oh, I think this is your bold titanium white.
I have one.
Do you? Are you sure?
I just use it.
Why do I have 2?
Because you just keep stealing paint. You're the paint gremlin. Everybody knows it. We talk about you when you're not here. That was a good face. That was a good face. You said they were over the top, and so you dig deep into the bad movie shtick and said they're all arm wrestlers. Right. Okay. I get it. I've learned even more about you, Wad.
Did you want to learn that much about WAD?
I did not ask for any of this. I'm just saying.
Mixing a little bit of green with the fluorescent green. And I'm going to thin it out with a crap load of glaze and wash medium. Well, not a crap load, but a good amount. And that'll be the final kind of punch on the glow here. Round it out.
I'm just flooding the eye socket with transparent white. That'll give us a little bit of that glow because the transparent white will allow the helmet color to show through. So paint the lens itself opaque white, then flood it with transparent white so that the area around the lens still brightens up, but you can see some of the color underneath it. That'll help just shade whatever we light it up with.
Anytime you're doing OSL, that sort of thing, you want to use a combination of transparent white plus a little bit of bold titanium white, just to in areas where you need that really, really, really strong light coming onto the model. Which is why I've used a combination of the both the bold titanium white to get these like really sharp highlights on the edges of these skulls and on the edges of the frame here. And then transparent has been largely the rest of it. So like you can see down in the ledge here where the frame kind of meets the portal, that brightness is mostly from transparent white gone over with some of the yellow and a little bit of the the fluorescent yellow and the fluorescent green. Now we're gonna do the base. The base is looking like it's in a good spot for a little bit of glow. We're gonna take the yellow, blaze it onto the base. We're going to feather it, and we're going to push it back towards the center where those flames are coming from. Same thing on the other side.
Maybe the simplest model I've painted in a long time.
Does it feel good? It feels pretty good. I love painting simple models. Because you're like, man, this is very straightforward, and it feels nice.
Well, yeah, and I like it a lot better now that we have Noosh.
Yeah, well, because you can do a lot of really interesting things with it, right? It takes a simple model and it allows you to add so much more to it.
Yeah.
Than you would be able to with just, paint and no weathering. Because now I'm looking at that contemptor, I'm like, ooh, maybe I make some of those types of contemptors in my army too, instead of just the super fancy ones that I have. Is having a little bit of both from a.
Oh yeah, they can all look good. The chassis itself just looks really good. So
yeah, because the one that I have is super ornate.
Gosu, what's happening?
Gosu must love what you're doing right now. Gosu loves some horse heresy.
This is Gosu's type of deal. Yeah, this is all done with Noosh. This is the model that I shot with Gabe for the upcoming tutorial video for YouTube, direct to YouTube. We painted the model yesterday on stream with just the general colors. And then after stream, we shot the video of me nooshing it. Just noosh it.
Just nooshing it.
And so we went through the process there. It's a great video. It shows how easy Noosh is to get fantastic results. It literally was mind-boggling to me how quickly we ran through it.
Taking a little bit of this fluorescent green now.
Or I guess actually I painted it on stream Monday.
Was it on Monday?
Yeah, because we were going to stay late on Monday to do the shot.
Right.
But it took me too long on Monday to get done with it on stream. And then we did the filming yesterday. Yeah. So, yeah. But we did him on stream in 3.5 hours to get it to the level where I was comfortable with it as a pseudo completed model minus weathering and detailing, the eyes and stuff that I'm doing right now. But we had done all the highlighting and stuff like that, and it looked really good. Big fan.
Exactly. I want to try this out for some of my dreads. I normally use oil washes, but I'm going to use the acrylic oil medium. Use the acrylic oil medium is? You're going to use Noosh instead. Got it. Baby J, you missed a spot. What do you mean I missed a spot?
Uh-oh.
On my face? You're out of the loop? What do you mean? I feel like we've been talking about it while you've been here, Gosu. Have you not been on any of the streams where we've talked about it?
About Noosh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's out of the loop.
We've been showing it for a while. Yeah, it is here. Well, I say it's here. It's out of stock now. It literally sold out of stock. Our fastest selling medium of all time. Out of stock. Be back in a week or two. Not a week. People will start asking. Won't be in next week. It'll be in that week after next, maybe. Yeah, so I literally just base coated this with the airbrush. Then we edge highlighted it with a brush. And then we were done. Painted the metallics with a brush, obviously. And then legit just took the Noosh and did everything else. So it had Payne's Gray base. You can see the kind of bluish base. Jade over that, and then olive flesh over that for my kind of bruised white way of doing Death Guard. I didn't go as in depth. I only use 3 colors. I generally use 5 when I was doing my army. But yeah, so it's just a 3-color airbrush work up on the body, and then edge highlighting, and the metals were done with dark silver, and then a dry brush of silver over the top of that, and then nooshed everything. So super simple. I really like to show people the way everybody out there who has ever painted a model can make their model look exactly like this, right? If you don't have the airbrush, maybe you don't have the subtle, changes between the jade shadows and blue and all that. That's fine, right? But you can get to this level of weathering and cool looking model just as easily.
Mm. You ordered some through a local company. You're hyped to try it out. Got a lacquer paint bottle break and spill all over you? Ugh. So you're kind of done with toxic paints for a bit? Yeah, I don't blame you. I'd be pretty upset if I had a bunch of lacquer spill all over me. Would not be ideal.
Yeah, I've always, if you've been around here for long, you'll know that one of my things is kind of the, somebody made me laugh once. They go, "You're the common man hobbyist," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know about that. I never really tagged myself that way." But the goal for a lot of the things I look at is that the outcome should be achievable by a larger group of people in miniature painting. There shouldn't be a whole lot of things hidden behind, custom products that you gotta buy or things like that. Custom techniques like oils, we laugh and call them custom because we're so used to using acrylics in this industry. But, they offer a lot of really neat solutions. They stay open longer. You can work with them and blend them a little easier. But with that comes the suffering of having a paint that stays open for so long. You can't handle it the same way. You can't immediately expect it to dry and then glaze over the top, so it's not instant gratification. Your model's going to take longer to complete just in general. And, so I'm always thinking in the background of, okay, what can we do? And when I see things or we talk about things that are like, okay, is this possible? Well, I don't know, but let's try it. And so things like Noosh are born, where it's like, okay, instead of using toxic solvents, smelly, messy nonsense,
Yep.
can we do it in a water base? And it's like, well, acrylics don't stay open that long. It's just impossible. You can throw a lot of drying retarder into an acrylic base and you'll get something, but it starts making the paint very tacky. Like the model feels sticky even after it's dry if you use drying retarder too much. Flow improver, same thing. So how can you bypass that to where you don't feel like you've done something that's messed up your painting, by introducing this product into it? And that's what Noosh is. Noosh is a way to allow you to have a really long open time with acrylics so that you can get out of them similar things. I can't say exactly what you get out of oils, because if you like painting for 4 hours with oils that you can continually go back and mix hours later, Noosh won't give you hours. But Noosh will give you an extended amount of minutes to do really cool stuff like the weathering that you see here. And when it dries like an acrylic. Not tacky. Go back and do other paints over it like I'm doing now, and you don't have to worry about, I'm not going to move any of the paint around. I can handle it, and my thumb isn't going to remove any of it.
Yeah,
you know,
you
nothing
painted
comes
all
off
the-
on my hands as I'm touching the model, just like normal.
You did all the rust effects today.
Yeah, all of them right before stream. So all of this is fresh, and no varnish over the top. I don't have to worry about varnishing things before I can use them again. So it's just, I feel like it's something that once people get their hands on it, start playing with it, they'll be like, how did we ever not have this? And I know that won't be the story for everybody, right? People that do, like I said, scale modelers that use oils in lots and, enamels in lots of different ways might not find that this works as well. It's not going to be as great of a solution if you want a very fast capillary panel liner, right? Because it's not meant to flow like that. But it will do panel lining.
You just have to have a different process for it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what everybody thinks and what everybody does with it. I'm excited to start seeing models crop up around the world that are like, check it out. I just nooshed it.
Yeah,
I nooshed myself.
That's the coolest thing, because it's something that's so new, right? It's not something that people have had an opportunity to try out before. So there's going to be a lot of that kind of trial and error period.
Playing around.
We see a lot of really cool things happening.
Yeah.
Probably even some stuff that we never even thought about, which is the cool part. I love to see the other things that I wouldn't have thought of come out from people trying out Noosh and
yeah, like we just did the rust on this hip today because I realized I forgot it when I came on stream, so I redid rust on the hip joints and on the inside there.
Yeah. I even have a plan of something that I want to try out tomorrow that I was thinking of today during my lunch break.
Neons. I don't have any neon colors. Can I borrow your yellow and your green? Or I have a full box.
Yeah, full box.
I have colors. They're used.
They are very lightly used.
Dude. So you got new ones and I got used ones.
No, these are also the same level of new.
But you got to open and take the seals off of all 12 of these colors.
I mean, I can go have them recap them, and then they'll be
I don't
just
get any
like
fun.
new.
I don't get any fun around here. Deadbeat artist. I just noosed myself. I just noosed my pants.
Megalodon Jaws, my Legion Imperialis shipped today. A little worried about trying to paint 6mm minis. Don't worry about it.
It's not even a big deal.
It's going to be so
the Titans and the
straightforward.
tanks and stuff will be so fun for you that it won't even matter.
Yeah, the Titans are absolutely a blast to paint. I loved painting every single one of the ones that I did for my army.
They're just like painting this guy.
And yeah, and I'm probably going to do some more now that the Legion Imperialis stuff is out, because that all is like very much like you can use them all together, which is stupid awesome. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. That's the real question, Megalodon. Wait, why are you not doing? Is it Carcharodons? That's the fish shark.
Space sharks.
The space shark one, right?
Pterodons.
Yeah. Why would you not do the Carcharodons? Aren't you like the shark guy? You like sharks. You should do that one. That's what I would do. If I were in your position with your
So they didn't exist in
favoritism of
30K,
sharks.
but
Yeah, I guess that's
don't
true.
let that stop you.
Yeah. You started 40K as an Ultramarines player, so you're loyal to a fault. That's fair.
Armor Kern! What's going on, man? Yeah, the Titans are tons of fun. I still got to put together the freaking Imperator Titan that we've got here.
Oh my gosh, that thing's huge.
It is huge.
It's ridiculous. It is on another level of ridiculousness.
It is huge. It's the size of the 40k Warhound Titan. Bigger than all the normal Titans.
Got about half an hour, 40 minutes left. The day is going by quickly.
You got your special contacts that you can see again. Awesome.
Ooh, nice. Seeing is important.
It's overrated.
Jason?
Says the painter of models.
Yeah.
Back to painting all day, so you're stoked. That's awesome, Gosu. Happy for you. Omicron, what faction is that? Contemptor? Death Guard. 30k Death Guard.
Yeah. If you are not super familiar with Death Guard in the 31st millennium, or whatever it is, they had like a kind of a pale white armor predominantly throughout their armies, and then they had kind of a camo green accent to like an accent color. So like a lot of their shoulder pads or their knee pads are in this kind of like camo green color. No. I forget what their icon is.
That's the ticket.
The orange, yeah.
I did red over the yellow.
Oh, you did red over the yellow? Yeah.
To get the orange. Seven feet tall. I've seen a bunch of people make the Imperator for 40k or for use in the 28 mil game, and it gets pretty crazy watching their builds. They use like PVC tubing from the plumbing store, and
Oh, really?
oh, it's silly. They use crazy stuff. Yeah, it's a skull in the spike circle.
Yeah, I forgot. It's I don't look at Death Guard a
For
ton.
Death Guard, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a tutorial. I painted him up strictly to be a tutorial for Noosh and showing people how to use our new weathering medium, right? So that's what we've done all the weathering with. So I didn't worry about logos and crap like that. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
He's not going to be used for anything. When I'm done, take a photo.
Stick it in the case.
Call it a day. Keep him around to show people Noosh when they jump on stream is the idea.
You need a Xenoosh. I think everybody needs Xenoosh. Dark line here.
Death Guard is your main army. Well, there you go. I have given you the most amazing way to get grimy Death Guard.
Yes, it's very true. Yeah, Noosh would work really good on 40k Death Guard. Especially with all the gribbly bits.
I was going to say, with all the slimy growth.
Yeah, you can
disgusting pits in the armor kind of crap.
do a bunch of like weird colors too.
And they're some of the best 40k models, just plain
they are.
period.
Yeah,
So that's
no
neat.
question on that.
There we go. A little bit more titanium white, a bit more of the fluorescent yellow. some glowy dreadnought eyes. Like this. I think we can mix up a little bit of noosh live on stream. Whole black. To do the soot on the end of the guns. I think before I do that, I need to dry brush all the silver.
Bring it back up.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't highlighted this. All I did was dry brush that. It'll be quick. Noosh sounds like a product you'd order from Manscaped. They've talked about picking it up, but we don't know how that's going to go over with the crowd. So we've got to think about that real quick. That's a marketing issue. Trying to hire a bunch of Instagram models to talk about Noosh, just so nobody knows what the hell it is.
Like, I thought this was supposed to be.
I've been told by a bunch of ugly men to talk to you about Noosh. That would be perfect, by the way. That should be our commercial. A bunch of ugly nerds told me I needed to talk to you about Noosh, a way to make your models even uglier. That would be so good. Just get some ridiculously over-the-top, crazy model to talk about making your models look awful with Noosh. Make them look even more disgusting and horrible with Noosh. A little bit of silver to catch the edges here. Just traditional dry brush, nothing funny. Nothing funny, no funny business going on here.
None of that. They're funny business. Who would try and drink noosh? No. Nobody's drinking noosh.
You're talking about the Instagram model that we would hire to do the Noosh commercial.
Oh, gosh. Mo's Magic. Not even Hobbies. What? Got tired of discussing books with me.
Oh, he sent me some emails.
Oh.
Those are not the kind of things that I answer on email very often, Mo, because it takes too much writing. We can talk about it. I'm definitely not bored with talking about the books. But they are hard to stomach. And I agree with a lot of what you said. There were a lot of neat revelations in regard to bits of the story that have not been filled in. It's like why I was saying that, I think that the end and the death are like the worst best books,
yeah,
or
the
best worst books. I don't know which one I'm going with yet. It changes chapter to chapter as I think back on it. But yeah, definitely not Dan Abnett's best work. Today I was thinking about it.
It's weird too because he said
it occupies a lot of my brain power for not being very good, which is a shame. It shows how much when you love something is when you get the most passionate about criticizing it. And he's a fantastic writer. He's done so much for the 40K and 30K universe, especially with the Horus Heresy and all that. And he's pretty much the guiding light for how the heresy is going right now. And it's just a shame because this book is god awful. It feels like every character feels like a cardboard cutout of itself. And it's like the thing I was saying in my head earlier was that it's like when you have a soul in the character, that has to come from the author, right? The author has to deliver the soul into the character, and Abnett feels like he's just doing this to make a buck. Like, it is not being driven by a love for these characters anymore. There's no soul to any of them. They all feel like cardboard cutouts of themselves.
That's really sucky.
Yeah, because there have been spots like where Sanguinius was like in the earlier books in the Siege of Terra. He had some really revelatory moments himself, some reflective moments on the coming of his death and his sons and the chapter and all the things that were happening, and and then you get this where it's just ignominious Sanguinius in the end, and it's like this is it. like unless you're gonna flip the script on its head, he dies. No spoilers. If you paid any attention, Sanguinius doesn't make it out.
We've known this for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, Sanguinius doesn't make it out of this in a good spot. But the way it's going down in the book is that you just at a point where it's like, well, I never cared for the Blood Angels. Let's just put it this way. Let's be honest. I didn't care for the Blood Angels. They were not a thing that even registered for me, right? They started registering for me somewhere in the Siege of Terra books, as Sanguinius kept having these moments where it was like visionary and the thoughts that were going on in his head, and he became this very strong character. He wasn't just this pretty boy with wings that they portray him as all the time when you think about Blood Angels. And, so I was like, okay, this guy's a badass. Like, he's literally the best fighter of all the Primarchs. Like, he beats Angron. He's just a badass. And so as you go through this process of, learning about him and everything, I'm like, all right, Sanguinius, okay. And the Blood Angel characters all had so much life in the early books. And the characters they came up with, you felt about, and there was soul to them and all that. And I was like, so I started building Blood Angels because of these books.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's cool.
These books, I've never liked Blood Angels. I've never cared about Blood Angels, I should say.
Yeah.
These books, reading through the Siege of Terra books, got me to where I was like, okay, Blood Angels are a thing. I'm going to build a whole army because I think these guys are the baddest asses on the planet. And then all of a sudden, now we get to the end where the Blood Angels are featured, and they're just like, they're not even lukewarm. They're like tap water.
Really?
Yeah. But then I think about it, and every character is like tap water. The Emperor, all the Custodes, all these characters that they built up to this end that now are all thrust into the same book by this author that I have loved up to now, and they're all just like, oh God, can we please get to the end? Right? It feels like the end of Game of Thrones.
Oh, no.
I said it.
There,
I said it. I said it.
No.
I think the end of Game of Thrones is better than this.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go a step further just to drive it home. I may not mean that, but I'm going to say it just for dramatic purpose. But
gross.
All right, so I don't need a lot of this. I'm just going to put like a drop of coal black in there.
I think we're pretty much there. We got the glow on the base. Got the glow on the frame.
And then, there you go. Noosh. That much noosh, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
Don't be afraid to noosh it.
Yeah, your proportions on your noosh to paint mixtures are going to be higher than you would expect.
And higher than anything else you mix.
Yeah.
And you'll find that it still filters amazingly. Still does great stuff. Go.
On average, you think a 7-to-1 ratio for doing weathering wash with noosh?
I've been doing at least that,
Yeah.
I would think. My highly scientific mixing process says maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, you'll play with it. You just start with putting a lot in there and then work backwards, right? Add more paint if you need more paint, but you'll be surprised at how much pigment you get out of this stuff. I'm just going to use it.
Oh man, Ghost Hunter, that's good. Don't nosh the noosh. What do you think, Jason? Did I miss anything?
No.
No, you're good. Take your time.
Probably do need it. the one with the dried paint. Not moving the paint the way I want it to. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Use the right tool. That's perfect. Like instantaneous, perfect. A little bit of soot at the end of the barrel. Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Got a little bit on the base, it darkens out as it moves away from the flames at the bottom. Kind of wraps around. We got the part on the back here.
Yep. I like it.
Neat little portal. So this is with all the OSL.
I might go and glaze a little bit of your bronzy color over the metals, like around the top face.
This part,
right? Because it looks you've got it to where it kind of looks like it's divided right down the middle. Just break that line up.
Yeah.
Right. I always try to look to avoid symmetry in effects, especially
because
it looks like you just it can lead people to see that you just painted one side of it one color, like it's just bisected paint job.
Yeah.
So that's it to where it moves, because those shapes, light's going to carry further on some shapes than on others, and so it'll kind of
I could carry
weave itself a little bit better.
Some edge highlights onto this side, which I think would help pull it too. To wrap it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Take some of the darker green mix here.
So need some gold because I gotta paint these rubber booty things. Megalodon, what are you talking about? Q-tips? Soft foam makeup, yeah, Q-tips are good. I've just been using a brush for most of this, so you can take a clean brush and move it away. But on big surfaces, you're not going to want to do that because it will take you too much effort to remove big swaths of it. Damp paper towel. I would use a damp paper towel on the side of a tank all day long and just go and take it off. You could use like a damp, larger dry brush, right? You'll see Baby J does that in his video. But the makeup sponges are like, corner store stuff. So I would say go to a Walgreens and buy some.
You can also get these, they look kind of like Q-tips, but they have like a big little wedge of foam on the end.
Yeah.
And those work really, really well because you can get them into really hard to reach places that are hard to get to with a makeup sponge or a bit of cloth or what have you. They're like mascara sponges or something like that. You'll see them in that same aisle with all the makeup sponges. But they're little like Q-tip looking things, but they have a little bit of foam on both sides. I have a gajillion of them at home, so I might bring some in to show the class at some point.
We have some here that are the T90 ones, because I would use them for scratching. So if you want to do scratches and weather chipping, they work great for that. They have they're all colored by the handle. The purple or pink ones are the smallest ones generally. That whole industry has like a color code for those things.
It's actually really convenient, now that I think about it, that they have the color coding.
Bags of them at Dollarama. Yeah, I was gonna say if you have a dollar store, or here it's called, I guess it's called the dollar store.
Are they called different things in different parts of the?
Everything's 99 cents. There's one of those. It's called the 99-cent store, the dollar store. They're all, Bucktown. Who knows? Dollar General. That's one we have.
There we go. Kind of pulled it over a little bit more. So it looks less half and half.
Yeah, bisected, yeah.
Pull some of that darkness over. Might do some of the edge highlights with the green here. Just to make it a little bit more apparent.
Yeah, Dollar General. Your capital B broke until Friday. I totally understand. Do another pass with a noose just to show you it isn't quite dark enough now that it's starting to dry. So even before it's dry, we'll do pass number 2 right over the top. And because the layer underneath needs now more wetness to reactivate, we'll just use the dry sponge on this, and it won't really move what was underneath. It'll just add to it, darken things up even more. Ooh. Just dry brush a little bit on the base. Call it a day. Black brown? I think it's brown. Of course, after black brown, you do dark warm gray.
We'll do some brighter highlights outside of the frame with regular metallics. Taking some bright gold. And all these little edge pieces here.
Jade, you snuck in like a rogue. I saw you. I said hi.
Hello, Jade.
I said hi. You've been here a while. And while that dark warm gray is still a little wet, I'm gonna get this yellow green, kind of squib it in there. Really, really thin. I'm using a number 6 brush and just lathering it with water. You can see how wet the paint is in this perspective. Kind of jockey it around. haphazardly. Less in between the legs, so the body shadow creates a little bit of darkness on the base. That brush is wetter than an otter's pocket.
Oh no.
Oh, the good old otter's pocket.
I've literally never heard that joke before.
No.
But, it's it's a good one. That's gosh darn it, Ghost Hunter. You guys know exactly how to get me with these jokes.
You're listening to music at your place, and you're like, hey man, that music's kind of loud. And you're like, oh wait, that's on my stereo. Oh wait, that's me. Shucks.
All right. Bam.
Get the DA2 out. We're up against the clock. 10 minutes.
Up against the clock.
Where the hell did I put that color on my... I need to clean this palette. Like, I literally can't even find the paint I just put down. Kind of hit around until I hit wet paint. What's going on here? Seriously, Jason? Oh, maybe I didn't put any out. Did I not? I feel like I know... Oh, I did. It's over here. Man, my palette is horrible right now. Especially when you get to bright colors. I can't see bright colors on my palette right now.
Gotta just pour it in a bucket with some boiling water and scrape it all off.
No, definitely that's an old age thing happening right there. It's like, what did I just do? Huh?
Creeping in with the old age. Gotta clean your palette, Jason.
I do need to. I've been saying that for how many months now?
Almost since I've been here.
Well, I've cleaned it since you've been here.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I cleaned it once since you've been here.
Okay. So then,
because I cleaned them both right when you showed up. So it's been
9 months.
It's been all that time. Yes. Thanks for reminding me. It has been. All
It has been 9 months. Holy cow! I've been here for a minute, chat.
We've been dealing with this guy for 9 months.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel!
You guys have survived. That's pretty good. I'm
What's
impressed.
the over under on people clearing you for 9 months? Are we doing better than most, or do we still got months to go before we reach the top?
I don't know. Let chat decide.
Chat, don't ever do that. You put your life in chat's hands? Are you kidding me? Is this something you've thought out?
No, but you know, par for the course.
That's trust and or stupidity, chat. So be easy with him.
Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Trust and stupidity, or maybe stupid trust. Hey, I survived the summer, all right? The summer tried to kill me, and I survived it. Woo!
It was, you did do like Superman moves by not really even complaining.
I'm gonna be honest, it really is not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's really not.
With zero humidity, it's really easy. The couple of months during the monsoon where it gets sticky because it rained is a little bit unbearable.
That wasn't even that bad, to be honest.
It's like 110 and you feel like it's raining. And
my
you're like,
allergies did try to kill me, though.
But that only happened once, and then they should be done.
Yeah.
Boom, chat. Oh, I guess I gotta put a black rim around the base to really close this thing off, don't I?
Yes.
Is that how this works?
Yep. Bada boom, bada bang.
Woozy woo!
Woozy woo!
Somebody likes us.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome to our fun and entertaining live stream.
Welcome to the fastest dreadnought you'll ever see me paint.
Yeah. Yep.
Chat knows that the ones that have been here long enough know what a crazy thing it is to see me finish off a model and paint a base rim.
Does it feel good though? It's gotta feel good. It's like one of the best feeling things about our hobby. Is when you
putting that final touch on.
Yeah.
I did it, Gabe. You can't be mad at me. Gabe was gonna yell at me if I didn't finish.
He might have, yeah.
Boom. The power of Noosh compels you, people.
And fluorescence. And comma fluorescence.
And fluorescence.
Woozy boo! How are you today?
How are you? We're doing great. Welcome.
Delightful Wednesday.
After summer in Tucson, you realize you didn't hate heat as much as I hate allergies. No allergies. Heat isn't so bad. Yeah, the dry. A lot of people come here because it's so dry. So it's like, okay.
Oh, hi, Jen. How beeth your hump day?
Over.
Yes.
Nearly. Which she's probably very happy about.
Were you in a state?
I can, yeah. Okay. Call and run orders. All right, cool. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever needs to be done.
Cool. Are you leaving?
And yeah.
Say hi to the dog. I'm sure she's doing just fine.
They probed her butt.
She's hardier
yesterday.
than that.
They shoved stuff up her butt yesterday.
They probed her butt yesterday at the vet.
What?
And get, yeah.
Oh,
She's got doggy poop problems.
Hmm.
Huh?
Oh.
It's fixable. She'd be fine.
Oh. Yeah. Bummer puppy problems.
Spitfire, you have a question that might seem like a complaint, but that's not your intention. When I placed your order, it gave me an estimated delivery date. It hasn't shipped yet, so can I expect a later delivery date? Yes. If you did it over the holidays, one of the things the system never takes into account is it looks at our general shipping times, and your receipt date is like after, you know, X amount of days past you getting your fulfillment order. And with thousands of orders over the holiday weekend, we're just now getting through to Saturday, I think.
Oh my god.
So depending, yeah, I think
Holy
Jen was
cow.
still on like just after lunch on Friday's orders
Oh my
for Black Friday today on Wednesday. So anytime we get a big buttload of orders, our whole system changes. It doesn't change. It works exactly the same. But unfortunately, you wind up waiting a little bit longer. We apologize. There's just nothing we can do about it. Right? With the guys, like we've got overtime in effect. So that's what Jen was just saying. We've got a couple of people staying to run orders late tonight. So, but we don't force overtime on people. So, holidays, especially Black Friday, because we give everybody the 4-day weekend. So we come in on Monday after nobody's worked since Wednesday of last week. We come in on Monday and it's like, oh,
We have a mountain of papers
hi guys,
that are all orders.
look at this.
Yeah.
Jen and I were in over the weekend pulling and shipping.
Yeah. I remember Jen sent out the photo to our chat with the photos of the stacks of paper from Friday.
Yeah.
And it was just like a literal ream of paper. I was just like, oh my gosh.
You need a seasonal team. That's the problem. You can't really do that around here, right? Because we operate, and it sucks on the fact that we can't just bring in 10 people, because we pride ourselves on the fact that we have very, very few. I mean, we have minuscule customer service issues at Monument Hobbies.
Yep.
And that's not even, I mean, that's probably exaggerating. We probably have less than minuscule amounts of customer service issues here.
Yep.
And if we bring in other people, then in a mad flow, what we found is that then customer service goes berserk. And what we don't want is during that rush when people are super excited about their stuff, we'd rather have you have it late than to have you have it wrong. That's just the gist of it. So, yeah, we just don't do that here. We don't do that here. Customer service goes berserk when you bring in people. And believe it or not, as simple as it seems to put paint into a box and ship it, it isn't all that simple. We have a lot of colors that look very similar to the untrained eye. And so if you just put it in somebody here and you say, you need bold titanium white, and they see transparent white, or you tell them transparent white and they've been pulling bold titanium white all day, they just grab white because they saw white, so they grab bold titanium white. So we have some colors that cause mass hysteria when we go try to go fast.
Yep.
Right? So we just don't do that. We just don't do it. Arctic Mini Painter says, well, I'm a customer and I'm an issue. And I would say, you're not wrong. You're a good issue to have, though.
I would not know which one of those is the correct one to pull. I mean, of course, this is...
Jade says, really wish you could work for Monument. The care for employees is amazing. We like to think so, but it's still rough. Like, we know people leave here like, oh my God. Especially like now. Like these times, the product release times, we don't really have the same seasonal sales problems that some companies do with mass amounts of hysteria because we don't do sales. So Black Friday was only big for us, really. It's usually a big weekend just because people have the mind
people
to
are
shop.
Spending money.
Yeah, people are shopping. So we fall into that, but we don't do sales because we let our partner stores do the sales. So we give our FLGSs the ability to do sales beyond normal advertised pricing regimens and things that we do. So that works really well, and we'd like to keep that in there for us so we drive more business to our game store partners. And then, we just have product releases, and our product releases, though, have ridiculous peaks, right, as people get excited for new product. And we just happen to do one on Black Friday. And it's funny because our marketing team was saying, hey, you probably shouldn't release new products on Black Friday because they get snowed under because of everybody out buying the big deal. And since you guys don't do sales, we're worried your product won't sell. And we're like, you don't know what goes. You haven't been around here long enough. It's like that meme. Oh, first time?
Yeah.
With the noose around your neck.
Time?
Oh, first time?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's a new product release. I think we'll do fine. And of course, it blew it out of the water. It was bigger than it would have been had we not done it on Black Friday, which is great. But it means that there are those times where people leave here with shell shock eyes because it's like we worked all day and we have more orders to fill now than we did when we came in, and it's like, hi. Hi. That's the way it goes. So it takes about a week to work through it all. So thanks for bearing with us. We appreciate it. We're a big little company still, and we're still having to deal with that stuff. Knowing your employer is aware and takes care of you, respects you, and thanks you for the extra time, it's rare. I wish it wasn't. That's sad, but I'm thankful that we're one of the ones that are on the good side of that equation.
We definitely are.
Wad says, if Arctic is considered an issue, what does that make me? Our bestest friend, Wad.
Mr. Tomato and
Scientologist. Black Friday sales are all smoke and mirrors for a majority of items anyway. Well, I
That's
mean,
true.
I'm old school in regards to that. I feel like if you have the ability to do big sales, you should just even the pricing of your product out to where it's a value all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old school like that. All right, that's why Pro Acryl is one of the cheapest per milliliter of paint that you can buy in the hobby market space, because I believe, personally, that it should be a value every time you need it, because it's a thing you use all the time if you're painting miniatures. You shouldn't have to wait for a sale to stock up. Get it when you need it. If you have a project come in, buy the paint, do the project. Feel good about it. Don't feel like you missed out, because I have that buyer's remorse whenever I bought a TV and 2 months later it's on half price. I get pissed. I get pissed because I don't want to spend time looking for the best deal.
Yep.
So with Monument Hobbies, you don't have to spend time looking for the best deal. You get the best deal every day. There, boom, set it. Set it. If other people can do their sales, that's great. But as a customer, I always feel a little put out.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst when you spend that money.
Coffee machine does make a lot of people do mandatory overtime. We just won't do that. I mean, we only do a 7-hour work week. 7-day work. We only do a 7-day work week at Monument Hobbies. Yeah. We like to take care of our people. They work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. We give them 4 hours to enjoy their life outside of here, and most of them live 2.5 hours away. We're working for the people. There, you can clip that, and we'll get a lot of shit on the internet.
But don't worry, we cater breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We do cater breakfast, as long as you like Hot Pockets and breakfast sandwiches. Or the ones that Shelby eats right out of the freezer, the peanut butter and jelly things.
Oh, yeah, the Uncrustables.
Uncrustables, and she doesn't even heat them up. She just freaking, as soon as they're squishy enough to bite into, she eats them.
You 100%. I always hear people say, I'm going to buy a TV for Black Friday. The thing they don't realize is the retailer don't set the prices.
Yeah.
I will tell you the best time to buy a TV is right before the Super Bowl.
I can't remember when we bought our last TV, but we got it at a ridiculous price, so I didn't feel bad.
Actually,
but it was like a Tuesday in the middle of nothing special in Best Buy, and there was a TV on sale. I was like, I'll take that one.
Yeah. Actually,
I don't care.
The real best time to buy a TV at Best Buy is the week after Black Friday.
I was gonna say it's
Or
when
the
they
week
didn't sell
after.
all of the things.
Well, no, it's the week after the Super Bowl, because believe it or not, people will buy TVs, use them for the Super Bowl, and then return them.
Oh, really?
Yes,
That's a thing.
That is a thing that people do.
That's some cheating BS right there.
Yeah, and Best Buy has a really good open box policy, and then you get good prices. So you just go the week after the Super Bowl, and you're like, hey, look at this TV that's like 25% off because somebody literally opened it and watched it for 4 hours.
This is the point where I flipped the model right off the
Do
base.
you need a thing?
Need a thing.
Yeah.
Need like a thing. It's gonna go kapoing, and there goes the paint job. It's gonna break,
and then
little
Gabe's
pieces.
gonna yell, "Oh, don't!"
Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
All right, Chad. We
It's
did
that
it.
time.
We
done
done
did
did it. You will get to see all of the awesomeness of how to apply all of this wonderful nooshing that I've done, as well as Jordan's workup for the portal done in depth in the videos that we're going to be releasing over the course of the next week or two. So keep your eyes peeled to that. If you're on our Discord, make sure that you, which I will show you right now because it is quitting time.
It is quitting
I
time.
have my old keyboard back.
Oh, is it the old keyboard
It's
too?
my OG keyboard.
Hey, look at that.
If you join us on our Discord channel, you will be able to keep up with all of the announcements, including when the new videos go live. You can check out the FLGS link to catch up with all of the stores and retailers around the world that carry our stuff, so you can find one close to you. Please support your local stores. They do all the heavy work. We just send them cool stuff. You can check out our store at monumenthobbies.com. If you don't have one close to you, you can buy it from us. And then, last but not least, is the place where all of this insane content goes once we're offline. So you can check out all the videos on YouTube. So thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with us. If you're new around here, we appreciate you spending some time with us. We do stream 5 days a week here from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's Arizona time here in the U.S. We'd love to see you back any one or all of those times. We love doing what we do, and it's because of you that we can show off all of our cool products every day. So join us as often as you can. We will be back again mañana on Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid, and we will catch up with you later. Show some love in the chat we wind up in. Adios. We're out.
Goodbye.